You will not believe what just went down on Live. Hip-hop has always been the battleground for lyrical warriors, but tonight, the arena erupted in ways nobody saw coming. Picture this. Kendrick Lamar, the Compton wordsmith, goes live seemingly out of nowhere. His fans flood in, expecting maybe a freestyle, maybe an album hint. But then, the air turns electric. Without warning, Kendrick unleashes a series of devastating shots, so sharp, so personal, the entire chat explodes. And his target, none other than the Game West Coast legend in his own right. Viewers freeze, jaws drop. Is this beef real? Or just some promo stunt gone too far? But hold up, it gets even messier. The Game jumps on his own, live fuming, pacing, eyes wild. He's reading the comments, his phone shaking, sweat beading on his forehead. Fans are shocked. Nobody expected it to get this raw, this fast. What did Kendrick say? Did the Game really just threaten to pull up? Is hip-hop about to witness its biggest feud since Drake and Meek? As the world watches, emotions run high, alliances are shattered, and the family is left divided. Trust me, you don't want to miss a single second of this unfolding drama. Stay tuned because this is about to get wild. Dr. Dre, who has been a mentor to both Kendrick and the Game, looks visibly stressed as his cryptic tweet circulates the internet. Fans start speculating furiously whose side is he really on? Some say Dre is trying to calm the storm, while others are convinced he's secretly rooting for Kendrick to finally take the throne. It's chaos on social media, with both camps fighting for Dre's allegiance. Hip-hop blogs are pumping out hot takes, old interviews are resurfacing, and everywhere you look, people are picking sides. Some are saying the Game paved the way. Others argue Kendrick is the future, let him cook. But just as the conversation is reaching a fever pitch, Kendrick does something no one expects. Midway through his live, he pauses, looks dead into the camera, and says, "This isn't about clout, it's about truth. You can't handle it, maybe you were never built for it." Those words echo across timelines, causing an explosion of think pieces and podcasts dissecting every syllable. Even people who don't listen to hip-hop are suddenly invested, sending each other screen recordings and speculating on group chats. One fan tweets, "I haven't seen drama like this since Jay-Z and Nas went at it." While another claims, "This is bigger than rap. This is about legacy." Meanwhile, the Game is still silent, and that silence is louder than any diss track. Behind the scenes, sources say the Game's camp is in shambles. His manager is urging him to respond, but the Game keeps pacing back and forth, muttering to himself, replaying Kendrick's words over and over. He starts to feel the weight of his own history as battles, his victories, but also his regrets. There's a sense of betrayal in his eyes, because for years, Kendrick was like a little brother to him. The whole West Coast knows the story. How the Game once opened doors for young artists from Compton. How he always said there's room for more kings. But now, it feels like Kendrick is telling the world there's only space for one, and he's not willing to share the crown. That night, the Game's phone buzzes nonstop. Messages from old friends, producers, even rivals. "You gotta clap back, bro. Don't let him do you like this." One particularly emotional message comes from his mother, who has always hated seeing her son dragged into drama. "You know who you are," she texts. "Don't let the noise get in your head." The Game sighs deeply, the pressure building. Up in his chest, while all this is happening, the world is watching, waiting for a response. Hip-hop heads start revisiting the past, comparing old beefs, ranking diss tracks, and wondering if this will end in reconciliation or ruin. Fans start posting reaction videos, some crying, some laughing, some just speechless. The conversation is everywhere, from school cafeterias to corporate offices. Our ADIO hosts are debating live on air, asking callers, who's really the king of the West? And callers are going wild, arguing, shouting, taking sides as if their own honor is at stake. But the real twist is about to come. As the night drags on and the internet refuses to sleep, a mysterious leak drops online a short clip of the game in the studio, apparently recording something. There's no sound, just visuals, but fans immediately assume he's working on a response track. Speculation explodes. Will the game come back with bars? Is he about to drop the most savage diss of his career? Or will he try to take the high road and ignore Kendrick's shots entirely? Back at Kendrick's camp, the mood is tense but focused. His inner circle rallies around him, hyping him up, telling him he did what he had to do. No one else had. The guts, one friend says. You've said what everyone's been thinking, but even Kendrick isn't immune to doubt. He knows the game is dangerous, both in the studio and on the streets. He's seen how quickly things can spiral out of control, how words can turn into actions. Kendrick's mom calls him too, her voice trembling. Just be careful, she says. Don't let this get ugly. Kendrick reassures her, but inside he's bracing himself for whatever comes next. By now, the drama has spilled over into every corner of pop culture. Talk shows are inviting hip-hop experts to weigh in. Conspiracy theories are circulating, and even brands are jumping in with memes and sly tweets. People are glued to their phones, desperate for updates. But the one person everyone wants to hear from the game remains silent. And that silence is deafening, just as the West Coast is holding its breath. Waiting for the next move, the game finally breaks his silence. It's not a track, it's not a tweet, okay? He goes live, looking more raw, more vulnerable than ever before. He stares at the camera for a long moment, almost as if he's searching for the right words. The chat goes crazy, thousands of fans pouring in, begging for answers. He finally speaks, voice low, words heavy. I hear what's being said. I see who's talking. But some people forget who showed them the ropes. Some people forget who let them eat at the table. His voice cracks, just a little. You can feel the pain, the sense of betrayal. And for a moment, fans see not just the game the rapper, but the game the man, someone who spent years fighting for respect, who's taken bullets for his crew, who's watched friends fall and dreams die. He's not just defending his title, he's defending his life's work. And just like that, the lines are drawn. Teams are forming, friendships are being tested, and it's clear this is more than just rap beef. This is a battle for legacy, loyalty, and respect. And with both camps now officially at war, everyone knows the next move could change everything. The game, having finally gone live, is still staring into the camera. The atmosphere is tense, his fans and haters both waiting, his words still echoing across the internet. Some people forget who let them eat at the table. But as the comments pour in, demanding he clap back or stand down, the game lets out a tired sigh. He glances down, reading another flood of messages, and then looks up, a fire igniting in his eyes. He leans closer to the camera, his voice suddenly sharper. I don't need a crown to prove I'm king. I built this from the ground up. Ask around, everybody knows who kept the lights on when things got dark. The chat erupts. Supporters rally around him, sending hundreds of heart emojis, while Kendrick's fans counter with goat emojis and clever jabs. RADIO shows replay his words in a loop, calling in hip-hop analysts to break down every nuance. Even rival rappers start weighing in, posting their own cryptic messages. Meanwhile, the streets of Compton field different fans from both camps, begin gathering outside legendary West Coast spots, holding homemade signs and chanting their loyalty. Some say it feels like the old days when rap battles were settled, on mixtapes and street corners, not just on the internet, as night turns to morning. The internet explodes again, this time with a twist nobody saw coming. A new video surfaces, allegedly from years ago, showing Kendrick and the game in a studio together. In the video, they're laughing, vibing, sharing stories about the hardships they've faced. Kendrick turns to the game, saying, "Man, you, the big bro. If I ever lose myself, check me." But now fans twist this throwback into a weapon, using it to accuse both rappers of being fake. Was it all an act? One tweet asks, "How do you go from brothers to enemies overnight?" Conspiracies run wild. Was this beef planned all along? Is it just a marketing stunt? But to those who know Compton, the pain is real. Behind the music, behind the brands, there's history, one of hunger, survival, and scars that never fully heal. While the internet spins theories, behind the scenes, the tension is worse. The Game's close friend, Mike, who's been with him since day one, urges him to record a diss track. "You can't just let him talk like that, man. He's making you look weak." But the Game, uncharacteristically, hesitates. He's always been quick with the pen, but this time he feels the stakes are different. "It's not just bars," he tells Mike. "It's respect. It's family." Mike shakes his head, "Then show him what family means. Don't let him rewrite your story." Meanwhile, Kendrick's team is working overtime. His manager, Leah, is fielding calls from every major blog and radio station, trying to control the narrative. She wants Kendrick to double down and drop a diss track, but Kendrick is deep in thought. He's staring at old photos, him and the Game backstage, hanging out in Dre's studio, laughing, sharing their dreams. He whispers to himself, "Did I go too far?" But then his phone buzzes with a message from his sister, Keisha. "Don't back down now. You're fighting for more than just yourself. This is for everyone who never got a shot." That message steals his resolve. Kendrick sits at his piano, scribbles lines in a notebook, his mind racing with memories, rage, and regret. Suddenly, in the midst of this chaos, another unexpected player enters the scene, none other than Snoop Dogg. He jumps on Instagram Live, talking directly to both Kendrick and the Game. "Look, man, I've seen too many kings fall over pride," Snoop says, his tone both wise and weary. "Compton's big enough for more than one legend. Don't let the world pit you against each other." Fans listen, some agreeing with Snoop's plea for peace. Others arguing that this is hip-hop and only the strongest survive. But if anyone thought Snoop's words would cool things down, they were dead wrong. Within hours, rumors spread that the Game has locked himself in the studio, not letting anyone in. Some say he's writing the hardest bars of his life. Others whisper that he's considering walking away altogether. To make things even wilder, another mysterious snippet drops a scratchy, leaked voice note allegedly from the Game. "He wanna be the king? Let's see how he handles war." Fans go into a frenzy, arguing over whether it's real, whether a response is coming, and if so, how bad it'll get. Across the city, Kendrick's friends are also feeling the heat. Some support him, saying it's time someone called out the Game for his ego, while others warn him not to burn bridges. He can't rebuild. This isn't just music. One old friend tells him this is the soul of the city. Kendrick, now more determined than ever, returns to social media with a cryptic post, a picture of a chessboard captioned, "Your move." The internet goes wild again. Is he baiting the Game? Is he already 3 steps ahead? Fans start speculating about every move, analyzing every word. As all this unfolds, families get dragged deeper into the drama. Both the Game's mother and Kendrick's mother start receiving threats and hate messages from overzealous fans. The pain spreads. What started as lyrical shots is now hurting real people. The Game's mother pleads on Facebook, "Please remember, they're both someone's son." Kendrick's family issues a similar statement, urging fans not to let loyalty turn to violence. But it's too late. The beef has taken on a life of its own. Producers start taking sides, some refusing to work with one or the other. Collaborations get canceled. Even record labels get nervous, with executives calling emergency meetings to manage the fallout. One insider leaks that major brands are considering pulling sponsorships from both rappers if the situation escalates further. Meanwhile, fans refuse to let the story die down. They organize rap battle watch parties, host polls, and create diss track playlists on every streaming platform. One ambitious fan even starts a petition. Let Kendrick and the game battle live on pay-per-view. The hype is out of control. But under all the noise, both rappers are struggling with doubt, pain, and the ghosts of their past friendship. As the night deepens, the world is left on edge, wondering, will the game respond with bars, or will he walk away from the mic forever? And more importantly, what will Kendrick do if the game fires back harder than anyone expected? The world, still holding its breath as both camps have gone eerily quiet. Everyone is glued to their screens, refreshing, debating. In the darkness of the game studio, the only sound is the relentless tapping of his pen and the low hum of a beat playing on loop. Mike, his oldest friend, sits nearby, eyes darting between the game and his phone, reading the flood of messages pouring in. "They want blood, bro," Mike finally says, voice tense. The streets are talking, the city's divided. But the game doesn't look up. He's deep in the zone, every line he writes heavier than the last. He's not just writing a diss, he's pouring years of pain, pride, and betrayal onto the page. Outside, word has spread that the game is about to drop a response. Compton's usually busy streets are strangely still, as if everyone's holding their breath. At the same time, Kendrick's camp is getting restless. Leah, his manager, is stressing out. She's pacing back and forth in the living room where Kendrick sits, headphones on, replaying his own live, searching for any sign that he's crossed a line. Maybe we went too hard, Leah worries aloud. What if this gets ugly? But Kendrick is calm, his eyes burning with determination. I said what needed to be said, he replies quietly. Sometimes the truth hurts. Then it happens. At exactly midnight, the game's Instagram page goes live. No flashy intro. No hype squad, just the game and a single studio light. He looks tired, haunted almost, but there's a fierce resolve in his eyes. He speaks, and the world listens. Everybody wants to talk legacy. Everybody wants to talk king. But nobody wants to talk about who bled for the crown. He pauses, letting the words sink in. I was here when nobody else was. I put the city on my back when it was too heavy for anybody else to lift. The comments section goes wild. Some are supporting him. Some are calling him bitter. Others are just in shock. And then he drops it. The first verse of his new track. It's raw, scathing, personal. He raps about betrayal, about opening doors for others just to have them slammed in his face. He even calls out specific moments from his and Kendrick's shared past. The time he brought Kendrick on stage for the first time, the nights they talked about changing the world. You forgot where you came from, now you're throwing stones. At the throne I built, son, he spits, his voice cracking at the edges. Fans are stunned. Blogs immediately clip the verse and it's everywhere within minutes. Memes, think pieces, live reaction videos. Meanwhile, Kendrick is watching the live with his friends, silent. When it ends, everyone looks at him, waiting for his reaction. He doesn't say a word. Instead, he grabs his notebook and disappears into his room, shutting the door behind him. Outside, his friends argue in hushed tones. Can't just let that go. He's got to respond. His whole rep is on the line. Some say Kendrick looks hurt. Others say he looks more focused than ever. Across the city, the reaction is explosive. Some fans switch sides, saying the game's pain was realer, that his bars cut deeper. Others double down, defending Kendrick and claiming the game's living in the past. Old friends from both camps get dragged into the drama, some speaking out, others begging for peace. On Twitter, hashtags trend worldwide. Hashtag King of Compton. Hashtag Kendrick vs the game. Hashtag West Coast War. Even industry legends jump in. Ice Cube tweets, "Seen this before? Only the real survive." Someone even claims that Jay-Z texted both artists privately, urging them not to take things too far. But the drama doesn't stop at diss tracks. An anonymous account leaks a series of old voicemails. allegedly between the game and Kendrick. In one, the game's voice is heard saying, "I got you, little bro. Just don't forget who's in your corner." Fans dissect every second, reading between the lines, desperate for new ammo. Some say it proves the beef is fake. Others say it shows just how deep the betrayal goes. One thing's for sure, the world is more invested than ever. In the middle of this storm, the families are feeling the pressure. Keisha, Kendrick's sister, posts a tearful video. "People are calling our house, threatening us, saying things that cross all boundaries." This was supposed to be about music, not violence. She begs fans to remember both rappers are human, with families who love them. The game's mom posts a similar plea. "I want my son safe. I want Kendrick safe. This isn't what we raised them for." Her words go viral, sparking a brief moment of reflection across social media. But the drama is too big to stop. The next morning, a new twist. Kendrick's camp leaks a snippet of his response track. It's only a few seconds, but it's enough. Kendrick is rapping. Legends never needed handouts. "I built my throne from pain. You say you bled for the city, but I carried the weight and the chains." The snippet ends with a haunting echo, and the internet loses its mind. This is about to be the beef of the decade. One fan writes, "Somebody's going to get destroyed." Just as everyone braces for the next bombshell, another surprise doctor. Dre finally speaks out, breaking his silence with an emotional video. He sits between two platinum records, his face serious. "These are my brothers," Dre says, voice thick with emotion. "I gave them both a shot because I saw greatness in them." But hip-hop isn't about tearing each other down. It's about telling the truth, but also lifting each other up. Some fans say Dre's trying to broker peace. Others think he's just covering his own legacy, with Dre's words hanging in the air. Both rappers find themselves at a crossroads. Kendrick is torn, his heart wants to destroy the game on the mic, but his conscience remembers the nights they dreamed together. The family dinners, the promises. The game, for his part, is flooded with memories. Times Kendrick made him proud. Times he felt betrayed. Both camps urge their man to go for the jugular, but deep down, both know this isn't just another rap beef. It's about family, history, and the future of West Coast hip-hop. As the city waits for Kendrick's full response, the tension is unbearable. Will he come back harder or step back for peace? And if he does respond, can either artist recover from wounds this deep? The battle lines are drawn, but nobody knows what happens next. The city is holding its breath as the sun rises on what everyone knows could be a historic day for hip-hop. Outside Kendrick's house, a small group of loyal fans and a few relentless paparazzi gather, hoping to catch any sign of movement. On the other side of the city, the game's neighborhood is even more tense. Neighbors peek through blinds, worried something bigger than music might be brewing. Both artists are locked away, each facing his own demons as the world watches. Inside Kendrick's home, the atmosphere is thick with anticipation. Kendrick sits alone in his studio, headphones on, staring at a single blinking cursor on his laptop. He plays the beat over and over, searching for the perfect words. Flashes of memory race through his mind. Open mic nights with the game cheering him on. Heated arguments about legacy, moments of brotherhood that feel lost now. His sister Keisha sits outside his door, praying softly that her brother finds a way through all this. In the kitchen, his mother paces, her phone lighting up with messages from family and friends who beg her to convince Kendrick not to go too far. But for Kendrick, this is bigger than pride. It's about legacy. And he can't let the game's words stand unchallenged. Across town, the game hasn't slept. Its phone keeps buzzing, notifications lighting up the room like strobe lights. He watches as social media explodes with reactions to Kendrick's leaked snippet. His own friends are split. Some urge him to squash the beef before things get out of hand, while others pump him up, telling him it's his time to prove he's still the king. The game scrolls through comments, pausing at one from a long time. Fan, don't let them forget who you are. He looks at himself in the mirror and whispers, they won't. Finally, after hours of radio silence, Kendrick drops his full response track on all platforms, accompanied by a haunting music video. It's a masterclass in lyricism. But more than that, it's personal. Kendrick's words cut deep, calling out the game's insecurities. The times he turned his back on his own people, and even hinting at secrets from their shared past. You say you built the throne, but you left cracks in the foundation/I, filled them with soul, sweat, and revelation. The track is immediately declared a classic by fans and critics alike. Social media erupts, clips of the song trend on every platform, and fans post tearful reaction videos. Kendrick's camp celebrates, but there's a heaviness in the air. The victory feels hollow when old friends become new enemies. The game watches the video in silence. When it ends, he stands up and punches the wall, sending a framed platinum plaque crashing to the floor. So that's how it is, he mutters, voice trembling with a mix of rage and heartbreak. Mike, his friend, tries to calm him down, but the game is already back in the studio, determined to respond. But as he tries to write, his hands shake. He can't focus. Memories of better times swirling in his mind. For the first time in his career, he feels truly alone. The drama spills into the streets. Fans gather in Compton, playing both tracks. From their car stereos, debating in parking lots, some even coming to blows over which artist deserves the crown. Major radio stations declare this the new West Coast war, dedicating entire segments to call-ins from fans. Some in tears, some in a fury. Even rival rappers from other cities start weighing in. Some warning the beef will only end badly, others fanning the flames. The families are suffering the most. Kendrick's mother goes live, her face drawn and tired, pleading with fans to let her son and the game settle things peacefully. The game's mom releases an old photo of the two rappers together, smiling at a barbecue, with the caption, "Don't forget these men were brothers once." The photo goes viral, sparking a rare moment of reflection. Some fans begin to question if it's all worth it. Where does it end? One popular blogger asks, at what point do we realize we're destroying our heroes just to pick a side? When it seems things can't get any more intense, another twist drops. An anonymous source leaks a secret meeting between Kendrick and the game. No cameras. Just the two of them in a small studio, talking late into the night. Grainy audio captures snippets of their conversation. "We went too far, man," one voice says, choked with emotion. "We did," the other admits, "but the world made us do it." The fans, the labels, they want war. It's clear both men are tired, battered by the weight of expectations, and deeply hurt by the rift between them. The leak shocks the internet. Suddenly, the conversation changes. Fans start calling for reconciliation. Hashtags like #bring the brothers home and #West Coast Unity begin trending. Some diehard fans refuse to let go of the beef, but many more want peace. Both artists' family members share the leaked audio, urging their followers to choose healing over hate. In the days that follow, Kendrick and the game both go quiet. Social media cools, though the debate never really ends. Finally, both artists release a joint statement. "We gave you the drama you wanted, but it's time for us to heal." Hip-hop is about truth, but it's also about love. Respect each other, and let's build something greater together. The statement is posted everywhere. Some fans cheer, others grumble about wanting more diss tracks. But most breathe a sigh of relief. As the dust settles, the world realizes that sometimes, even in the wildest beefs, there's room for forgiveness and growth. The story ends not with one man on top, but with two legends choosing peace over pride. Reminding everyone that behind the music, they're still brothers from the same struggle. And as the camera pans out on Compton's sunlit streets, the city feels a little more united down the legacy of both artists. Even stronger than before. And now, after all the drama, heartbreak, and unexpected twists, the dust finally begins to settle. But let's be honest, this story is far from over. Fans are still buzzing, old wounds are healing, and the future of West Coast hip-hop has never felt more uncertain or exciting. Will Kendrick and the game ever truly trust each other again? Can Compton stay united after coming so close to breaking apart? And what about you? Whose side were you really on? And what do you think happens next? I want to know everything you think. Did Kendrick go too far? Or was he just defending his crown? Did the game show true heart? Or was it all just ego and hurt pride? Should these two legends put it all behind them for good? Or do you secretly want to see one more diss track before the dust settles? Maybe you think there's more to this story than meets the eye, hidden truths, secret deals, or even a surprise collab waiting to happen. So drop your wildest theories, hottest takes, and boldest predictions in the comments below. Don't hold back. Are you Team Kendrick or Team The Game, or do you just want to see some real West Coast unity at last? And hey, if you love these wild hip-hop showdowns and can't get enough of the drama, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of the chaos. Because trust me, when it comes to hip-hop, you never know what's coming next. Stay tuned, keep the conversation alive, and let us know who really owns the crown of Compton. Your voice matters, and the story's not over until you say it is.